Good morning, America, and good evening, India. Here is a breaking news from India. Quad nations vote to respect territorial integrity amid concern over Chinese military expansionism. Foreign ministers held a telephonic meet to discuss a host of issues, including the developments in Myanmar, coronavirus, and climate change. In the midst of rising global concerns over Chinese military expansionism, foreign ministers of India and three other members nations of the Quad coalition on Thursday voted to hold a rules-based international order underpinned by respect for territorial integrity and sovereignty, freedom of navigation, and peaceful resolution of disputes. A statement from the Japanese Foreign Ministry said the minister, during a telephonic meeting, concurred to strongly oppose unilateral and forceful attempts to change the status quo in the context of the East and South China Sea. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Australian Foreign Minister Maris Payne, and Japanese Toimitsu Motegi reiterate their common vision for a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific with clear support for Asian cohesion and certainty. The Ministry of External Affairs said. Spokesperson in the US State Department, Ned Price, said the ministers also discussed the urgent need to restore the democratically elected government in Myanmar and the priority of strengthening democratic resilience in the border region. He said the ministers reiterated their commitment to the Quad meeting at least annually at the ministerial level and on a regular basis at senior and working levels to strengthen cooperation and advancing a free, open Indo-Pacific region, including support for freedom of navigation and territorial integrity. The Minister of External Affairs, MEA, said that ministers deliberated on a host of issues, including the recent developments in Myanmar, coronavirus pandemic, climate change, and furthering cooperation in areas such as maritime security, supply chain resilience, and counterterrorism. During the discussion on recent developments in Myanmar, the upholding of rule of law and the democratic transition was reiterated by India. The minister said the ministers emphasized their commitment to upholding a rules-based international order, underpinned by respect for territorial integrity and sovereignty, rule of law, transparency, freedom of navigation in the international seas, and peaceful resolution of disputes, the MEA said. The Japanese Foreign Ministry said the ministers shared the recognition that the existing international order has been under challenge in various fields, including through unilateral attempts to change the status quo, and that the four countries are deeply committed to reinforcing a free and open global order based on the rule of law. Foreign Minister Motegi expressed serious concern with regard to the Chinese Coast Guard law, and the four ministers concurred to strongly oppose unilateral and forcefully attempts to change the status quo in the context of the East-South China Sea, the Japanese statement said. The meeting took place in the backdrop of Chinese aggressive military behavior in the Indo-Pacific South China Sea and along with the line of actual control, that is called LSC, in Eastern Ladakh. Their productive exchange of views on regional issues included a reiteration of their common vision for a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific region with a clear support for Asian cohesion and centrality, the EMEA said. Their 10-nation association of Southeast Asia nations is a key stakeholder in the Indo-Pacific region. It was third ministerial meeting of Quad member countries and the first after the Joe Biden administration took charge in Washington. It was noted that the Indo-Pacific concept had gathered growing international support, including in Europe. The EMEA said on the India, Australia, Japan, USA Quad ministerial meeting. The evolving situation in the Indo-Pacific region in the wake of Chinese increasing military muscle flexing has become a major talking point among leading global power. The US has been favoring making Quad a security architecture to check Chinese growing assertiveness. The EMEA said the ministers highlighted their shared attributes as political democracies, market economics, and pluralistic societies, and recognized that the changes underway in the world makes a strong case for their countries working closely together. It was important for the international community that the direction of changes remains positive and beneficial to all, the EMEA noted. The US State Department spokesperson also said the minister discussed countering disinformation, counter-terrorism, and maritime security. The Japanese statement said Foreign Minister Motegi expressed grave concern for deteriorating the situation in Myanmar and explained that Japan was strongly urging the Myanmar military to immediately stop violence, including shootings against citizens. He also pitched for the release of those who have been detained, including State Councillor Do Aung San Suu Kyi, and swiftly restore Myanmar's democratic political system. The four ministers shared the view of the need to recover the democratic regimes early. The minister also discussed ongoing efforts to combat the COVID-19 pandemic, including vaccination programs. They expressed their commitment to cooperate in addressing this challenge. Enhancing access to affordable vaccines, medicines, and medical equipment, India's effort at providing vaccines to 74 countries was recognized and appreciated, the EMEA said. In the discussion pertaining to the recent developments in Myanmar, the upholding of rule of law and the democratic transition was reiterated by India. It added, beyond the report for Shakti USA.